Okay, so now what we're doing is we are going through the interior and checking out some of this wiring. There is a lot of wiring. I don't believe it is original, obviously. As I said, my dad was into CVs. I don't believe some of this is factory. Some of it may not be. And some of it is just not. A lot of it is just here. The trunk area. I don't know where it all goes to. These cables are cut. Probably it's not going to anything. But it's rusted and it's cut. Definitely pliers for that. There was a radio in this car. It must have had an antenna. But just from my experience with cars, I don't think that you needed all these components just to run an antenna. And I'm not trying to cut it all out. I'm just going to take it apart in sections so I know what stuff is, but this probably would not be good for anything. Over here. Another one there. Figure out where that goes. This. So this looks like it is an antenna of sorts. Cable is completely rusted through. It's just falling apart in my hands. So I'll have to get under here and take a look at what that's connected to. What that's connected to. This, yeah, this looks like some sort of amplifier. Or I'll have to see. Alright, so following the trail of this red and white wire, goes underneath, the dash, sorry, I can see my fingers traveling it, and it connects to this switch, which is screwed into the under courtesy light. That probably went for the power antenna, which is in the trunk. It's an aftermarket unit. I don't know if it works, but as I said, I am going to see if I put a battery to this car. I don't want to cause a fire, so I'm getting rid of all wiring that's not essential or original. If it looks suspect, I don't know what that is, but some of the wiring, yeah. We're going to take care of it as we go. So I'm going to remove this. Yeah, this came out here, connected to these two bullet things. Now I'm going to pull these out. Get rid of this wiring. And I'm going to remove this switch. I don't even know what this is held in by. It looks like it's just haphazardly screwed in here. Okay. Whether this is the original bolt, I would assume it is. looks like it's the original one. There we go. Now there's another stray wire, which will go on the other side. Figure that out. Okay, so this blue wire from the switch goes all the way over, comes through here, and it taps into this line, which taps into there, which taps into here, which taps into this green wire that goes nowhere. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the white wire, or the blue wire out. I'm gonna cut the blue wire out to get the switch out. And then I'm gonna tape this up to make sure I get back to it when I figure out the rest of this wiring. I'm gonna cut the blue wire here. Get the switch out of the way. It's not factory. And I'm gonna take a piece of tape and put it on this to let me know that's something I touched and that's something I need to get back to. So, little reminders. Okay, so I'm gonna take off this panel because there's some wiring that goes behind it. I'm gonna see if it actually comes out easily. Let's see where that goes. Screws here, there's no screws there, there's no screws up here, there's these two screws here holding this button on, which I remember as being a auxiliary horn. Why? I don't know. I just know getting yelled at to touch it because well, it's falling apart. All right, so let's see. We already determined that. Screw up here on the front of the mount. The sill plate can be moved a little bit more. There we go. Let's take a look at the condition of this. This is the plate. Can I pull back a little bit? There we go. This is the condition of the plate for the side. Kick plate. Looks like we have some factory stuff, some non-factory stuff, and some more wires that are just like that. Yeah, okay. More cabling, and more debris. Alright, let's go through it. This is just some dirt, some leaves. Looks like an acorn or two. No metal, no keys, no money. Get the trash can. I'm gonna keep this horn for the moment, where this button is. I'm gonna disconnect this cabling that's part of what would be a CB, because that's not factory. Why don't I just cut things? You know what? I'm not a dismantler. I'm not in a time crunch where time is money. I'm trying to preserve what I can. And while Corvettes are not my strong point, I still know I'm not in a rush to identify what is and what is not supposed to be. So here, this cable runs under here, which runs under the seat, which connects to nothing. So throw it over there. And this cabling runs all the way across to there. And I'm not just gonna yank it because I don't know what it's connected to or tied off to. So I'm gonna gently pass it through and disconnect it. Yep, it's tied off. There's tape. Good old electrical tape. Let's go to the other side. Wiring out of the way. This wiring is very... we'll get to that later. Let's get back over here. Back to this wiring. So the rest of this mess... Again, I'm not an expert. This is wiring the plugs. I believe this is the original, which would plug into your radio, because it's got that end on it. And that comes all the way back to the trunk. This thing, yep, so this is just an adapter to go in. I believe if you're plugging your radio in and you needed a signal booster of some sort or a filter, that's what this was, but all of this it's just not working. Stamped. And it seems like there is a ground attached to something. Let's go figure that out. So it looks like this wire all the way up, and it is connecting to there, which is connected to a bunch of other things. Let's see if I don't think I can get my camera in there. It's connected to a bunch of things. Relating to a ground of some sort, to wires that are connected to nothing. It's tapped into something. It's not connected to anything, so I'm just gonna put this down for a sec. So I'm just pulling that out. Now this wiring can all go. All this can go. All right, so we got some of the wiring taken care of. There's still this big mess under there. There's all that wiring over there. This mystery green wire that goes to the trunk with some suspicious looking taps. But this cabling going through here, which goes to the trunk, we can run here for the radio. Until next time, we're gonna go through the wiring under there, figuring that wiring, dive into the trunk, get to the rest of the car.